Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm David John Sponheim. Hello. Welcome. Let me get the volume up a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully that's good enough for you. Yeah, so today we're just stepping into the show, and we're going to go ahead and make a couple of adjustments here. I've got $5 worth of pork marinating right here. Let me get that into the show. You can't really see it, can you? Okay, we're looking at a mango pork stir fry. Yay. And it's going to be $8 for 6 people today. Well, actually, let's keep it at, let's keep it at 5, because I know everyone's going to want to eat this. So welcome, yes, mango pork stir fry. Yeah, we forgot the P. Thank you. My staff of people working behind the scenes, my immense staff of no one, is my hands are my staff. All right. Hey, let's talk about what's going on right now in the world. It does look like the Obama administration has taken over. Yeah. So we'll have to assume that Obama is still in charge, giving Joe information through the earpiece. Yeah, Drag King sent in a picture last night, a video, which I watched. It ties it all together. It's pretty cool. I'll be playing it at the start of our show today. Let's go here and check this out. We've got opera. That's where I've been doing the show. Producer, preview. And then Firefox, I think, is our operative site for Vaughn. Let me make sure. Maybe. Yes. Be silent. Yeah, the container wall is needed more than ever, especially with the leach of people coming into the country. Eric, yeah, good point. Yeah, it's just been terrible. They're looking at about 100,000 people at the border so far, maybe double that. I don't know. Since Joe Biden took over, it's probably double that. Whoopsie. So yeah, I'm just marinating the mango. I got some mango slices here. Oh, you can't see it. Let me. Can't really. Showing it to an empty camera. Bringing in the can. Bringing in the can. I'm going to move this over slightly. There we go. All right. Previewing broadcast. Mango pork stir fry. So mango is one of those things that really helps with breaking down the pork. So what I want to do is grab this knife set up here. This wonderful Damask steel. Look at this amazing 67 layers of Damask steel knife set that Meow TV gave me. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I didn't expect a gift, so I'm going to go with a medium knife. You know, and I'm going to grab it out of here and pull the tip protector off, and you see how well made this is. It's amazing. We're going to do our cutting with that to be on the cutting edge. When you put knives on countertops, you don't want to put them right here, because then they could fall down and go right into your toes. So yeah. You can use things like this too, applesauce to glaze this pork. You can probably do a garlic powder. We're going to do some ground ginger powder. I get this at Walmart for like $3. It's amazing. Organic. Any barbecue sauce you may have laying around. Onion powder is good for this. But the juice is in this mango slice container, and this is true with papaya as well. The juices are very good for marinating. All right, let's get this up here. Moving forward just a slight bit. There we go. Okay, yeah, I had to get into the cooking show here. We're going to do this today, 318. If any of you can't hear me, just tell me if my mic is a little low. It should be okay, but if you want it to be raised, I can do that. Okay, going live. Periscope. Yeah, now I'm not going to be able to get into the D Live show, which doesn't really matter anyways, because not many people go in there, except people that know I'm broadcasting, so I should be okay. Tom, that's not really that funny. We have modern conveniences that she has an amazing cell phone that sounds like a landline, or when it works, it's great. It works off of cell phone signal, which she, I think she pays a nominal fee for it. Yeah, like $15 a month. It probably uses the 2G system, or no, 3G or 4G. It was designed back around the 4G, 3G transition. It works great. Yeah. Let me make sure I'm in the chat here. Can't give you 5G radiation though. Yeah, I avoid 3G. I mean, I avoid 5G. I really do. It's highly suspicious. If you have a 4G phone, your tablet should be fine. There should be no problem. Okay, we have to get this thing rolling. So in order to do this, I'm going to take take the pork right here, as you can see. Still having problems with this camera angle. Hang on just a second. Yeah, it wants to keep spinning, and eventually it'll be falling off the table there. All right, here I am. Hi, guys. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and cut into this with a really sharp knife. There we go. Now we were talking about this. What the best surface to cut on, and I was cutting on Corel last week, and one person came in and said, could you not do that because you're chipping the Corel? I was like, no, I'm not. Corel is like glass. There you go. See, not a big deal. We're not making major cuts here, but we're pressing into it and pushing all those juices around it as we do this, making sure it's fully cut. That's important. And I think glass is the best thing to cut on when you're dealing with pork or meat, because if you're on the breadboard, you'd be really infecting the entire operation. Yeah. All right. Fork is essential to hold the meat in place. And I'm going to leave the fat on there because I'm going to get the pan going right now on level 3 for at least in a few minutes. This is a little sinewy in here. My first piece to go down will be this fat one here. Yeah, you want to get that down right away because that'll add the flavor to the pan and begin the process. You can put a little bit of oil down if you want. I'm going to rinse this off. Yeah, welcome to my kitchen, everyone. Yeah, that's got a little bit of a... Yeah, I'm not going to use that knife anymore, so I'm just going to put it away. Making sure it doesn't have any pork fat on it. There you go. That should be fine. I'll put it away in a little bit. All right. turning the pan on to level 6. Oh, goody. Here we go. When it gets hot, I'm going to put a little bit of oil down just for the benefit. Let's see how everyone's going. Zetterbeard says, nice, Dave. Yeah. Yeah, I like pork. I feel that it's really one of those foods that really gives you the easy to chew protein. You know, I don't like having to sink my teeth into a big, like a thick piece of steak and have to grind away, So that's one of the reasons why I like pork. It's tender. Yeah, and it's also, I don't buy into this garbage about it being a scavenger food. And, frankly, I've seen the feed that goes into both beef and pork. It's virtually, we're dealing with the same type of livestock feeding program. It really is no different. So I'm not that concerned about pork. But if you're Jewish or Muslim, and of course you don't want to eat pork ever because it would be a violation of your religious edict, I understand. But if we're starving to death, don't mind us, but we may have a pork fest while you guys sit back, okay? All right. Yeah, so it's easy to graze pork, and pork is really one of those things that you can tell I'm missing the pork fest, right, that I had last year and the year before and the year before that and the year before that, all the normal things that this town used to do. But oh no, we're all now in COVID spacing land, courtesy of a bunch of fearmongers who think the sky is falling. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. They shut our economy down. They're trying to shutter everything down so that it kills our economy because the richest people in the world are tired of taking care of America. That's what's happening. Now, we can stop this right now by getting back to normal, all of us. So keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to throw some little oil on this. I always give everybody a photo op, at least 2-3 seconds during the day. Always be selling, right? Okay, so we'll get that nice and hot and get the sizzle going. But of course, I'm going to want an onion, right? So I'm going to go get an onion. I buy these bags of onions, five onions for $1.99. So organic. But the pork and the mango are not organic, so it doesn't really matter. And I tell people, if you really don't worry about that stuff. Just eat. You can define what you want to eat when you can get better food. I was never really totally hung up on organic food. When I was selling it, I wasn't like a fanatic. Because I recognize that, we're dealing with a long-term exposure to chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, in food that's not grown organic. And even food that is grown organic may very well have contaminants like that on it from drift, aerial drift. So, I mean, we don't live in a perfect world. So that's kind of why I relaxed my standards a long, long time ago. But that's okay. Keep striving for organic, like when we buy these things. No sugar added, organic. These are great, but you're dealing with plastic waste, right? I mean, who knows how much microplastic is in this container, I mean, you don't know anything. We don't know anything. Not you personally, but I did get into a little government cheese, Eric. It just happened to be for sale one day at a market. I guess the market was violating government law or something because they had these big blocks at one point in the 1980s, like 87, 86, big blocks of 20 pounds of cheese for $5. And I just couldn't, I said, yeah, I want that. So I bought a couple of them, yeah. So I did taste that government cheese you guys love. It's not Belvita. It's not. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put the one porky one right there with all the fat on the pan. And you should hear a sizzle. Let's take a look. Yeah. Oh, how convenient. Somebody cut it for me on the other side. Well, there you go. Well, I'm not going to bother cutting that right now. I'm just going to cook it the way it is. And what you want to do is, oh, you can't even see it. Sorry. There you go. And just put the fat side down of all these things. You don't want water on this grill. I guess I didn't fully cut that one, did I? Dang. Remind me to do a better job next time. The idea is to grill the side that's got the fat on it. And these boneless short ribs, pork short ribs, are fantastic. They get so tender when they get cooked in. Here's another one struggling to separate. This pork loves itself so much it won't separate. I did sharpen this other knife too, by the way. Okay, keep rotating, and you're doing this at a level 6 flame. Now I did put garlic in the juice, but while we cook this, I'll just throw a little garlic on top. Beautiful. And of course, ginger. Organic ginger. Love it. Lots of ginger. Now, in terms of oils, you can go in a couple different directions with this dish, but if you want to use a really cool oil, if you're running out of oil for some reason, I don't think we will. If it gets dry, you can put a little sesame oil on this. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm going to cut up, right now I'm going to cut up the onion, part of the onion, get that going in with it. Whoa, pretty cool move, huh? Rolling with Dave into the kitchen. All right. That should win an award, that camera move. I think that alone was worth the entire show. Okay, let me get back to resuming my chat. And keep it at really a high level and let it roll in there. And you won't add the mango, and I'm going to add a red pepper too. No salt, no. Well, I've got a red pepper in the refrigerator, Tom. Thanks for suggesting that. Jeez. I buy my peppers in bulk, so that was 3 peppers for $1.99 there. So it should be 60 cents for the pepper. Yeah. I'm going to go with the red pepper. And then I buy these too. I like these as well. Now, they are grown in Mexico, and there's no organic designation on this, but man, I like peppers. So the good thing is Mexico is below a lot of the heavy-duty Fukushima water and radiation. So I consider these peppers less irradiated than northern peppers. I honestly don't think they raise peppers anymore, except in Canada. It's pretty much Mexico has a whole line on it. And I commend Mexico for their efforts, by the way, to produce food. I think it's pretty cool that they do, you know. Yeah, so when you get through these bags, you don't have to use a lot of them. They last when they're dry in the refrigerator. You just put them right back in the refrigerator. Give the pan a little shake. Yeah, and then rotate everything over. Get a little brownness on the outside. We're going to really cook the heck out of these things. That's why I'm running these at level 6 with the top off. Yeah, when you serve a pork rib like this, you want to make sure it's got lots of taste to it. So you definitely want to get some barbecue sauce on it in a little bit. And I am going to put the peppers and everything in with it when it's cooking. So, and the mangoes too. So bear with me for a second. One moment, please. One moment while David prepares for the next phase of the show. So right now I'm going to go over. I know you're wondering, Dave, are you real? Well, this is Technology Thursday, so always look at the knife when cutting. Oh, and I've got my green peppers are growing in the window over here. I put one of these seed balls in some soil, and in the back there we've got some green peppers coming up, so that's kind of cool. Courtesy of Bonham, who suggested that I do that. I know what you're saying. Did he wash the knife off after cutting the pork? Yes, I did. Mysterious voiceover. Dave is now preparing the orange peppers and the red peppers to add to the pork. Sounds like Chef Ramsay could be in this kitchen. My God, man, pull yourself together. Okay, going right down the side of these things, just kind of press them in position. Now with a pork thing like this, you don't want to have, these peppers want to be kind of visible in the dish. Yeah, so I'm going to give them just a big, basic 1/3 shot. So you take them all like this, line them up, and go chop, 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 chop. And you don't want to chop with your fingers down on the board. I hope you liked the ear. The audio must have been really good on that chop. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to add this to the dish, but I also want to cut up these mangoes a little bit. See how difficult that is? It's like, oh yeah, super easy. And now for the mystery herb. The mystery herb is rosemary. Yeah, you got to go with rosemary. Fantastic. The taste. I already put some rosemary in the marinade. Okay, we're coming along here. We want to brown this stuff on all sides. So we're almost there. Yeah, I'm going to put some spices on this little thing. A little bit more ginger. And I'm going to put a little bit of barbecue sauce on there. All right. Finishing up that bottle, covering it up right now. You can pour a little of the juice on top. That's got some sugar in it. Let's check the sugar content. So some of you people are diabetic. Sodium's low. Sugar's at 14 grams times 2. We're 28 grams of sugar. I'm going to put some chili powder on this. Yes, yes, I'm not done yet. Now another gift that came in the mail, I had no idea who gave it to me, was Meow TV's delicious donation. So this guy's made a couple nice gifts of some knives and whatnot. And Amber got a gift too one year. Yeah, so we don't know what to think. He's in the show, and he's been in the show since the beginning. So yeah, thank you for sending this. We've got a choice here. We got bacon seasoning, and these things taste like pork. So if you're using turkey for this meal, you can get this the same similar taste by not using pork. And these things are completely kosher. This is smoky barbecue. That looks pretty good. I haven't opened these. I opened one of them already. Original. Cheesy. Spicy. Smoky barbecue. I'm going to go with smoky barbecue. Spicy could be a little bit dangerous. I have a 39 waist SMY. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to get into a little bit one more of these things. The thing about these things that kind of, you got to worry about is once you open them and break that seal, they'll cake up really quick. Right now, it's got the perfect consistency. See that right out of the box? But if you don't keep this really tight, it'll get cakey, and you'll have to take a knife and move it around. I noticed that on the other one. Okay, here comes the really nice seasoning here. We have smoky barbecue. About a half teaspoon of that. It doesn't have to be that particular dressing. It could be anything. And I'm going to put the rosemary on top of that. Okay. Then I'm going to add all my fruits and vegetables. Okay, let's shake some rosemary on that for my garden. I think I'm just going to have to get this going a little bit. Yeah, I want a little bit more of it, so I'm going to kind of push it around. Give it a good dusting. Wow. Rosemary's kind of strong, but it will really make this dish really pop. Okay, we're good. Okay, now I'm gonna make one more little change here. And that is I'm going to add the rest of the onion. Now, some of the things you can cook to accompany this would be yellow squash, carrots. They work well. I'm going to rotate that pork. Oh, it's starting to smell really good. The thing about pork is it takes a long time to soften up. But once you get your spicing and your glazing in there, and then the mango is going to do its trick, get everything kind of rotated into it. Perfect. It's kind of a dry cook. There's not a lot of moisture in there. I'm going to cover it, seal the flavors in right now while it finishes the thorough cook. It's not completely cooked until it's completely done. And then I want to cook it some more, because if you've ever had carnitas, you know that is a very slow cook. And it's fantastic, in fact, if you've ever had the slow rotisserie carnitas. Oh, and I'm sure that's true with other meats as well. But man, when they cook it slow and then they glaze it as they go, keep the oils up on it. Oh man, the taste it's out of this world. It really is. That's why I really miss the pork fest that we had here. It was just the best pork I've ever had. I mean, all these people were focused on building their pork industry. You wouldn't believe how many smoker businesses started in our area, like 20. And I bet now they're wondering, what are we going to do with the smoker, honey? I'm serious. They had these things on wheels, on trailers. I mean, you wouldn't believe all the small businesses that were spawned because people just like pork. But no, not with COVID. We can't trust what's going on. Oh, oh no, the whole country has to be in control. Oh, yeah. And we're dealing with a common cold here, right? They've even called the common cold COVID symptoms now. Okay, we're going to do a nice tight cut on that onion. About a 1/4 inch or less. And when you cut, always keep, oh, you can't really see the complete look there. When you cut, always keep your fingers down as you hold the item, and don't cut the base of the onion. That's really important. Okay, here we go. We're going to take all these vegetables and fruits. We'll start with the mango. Put the mango, the whole thing, right on top. We'll go with the onions now. And then the peppers. Okay. You want to top it off with a little bit more of the smoky barbecue? Sure. That'll do. Okay, keep cooking at level 6. in all the juices. There's not a lot of water in this, mind you. Don't add water. And what we're going to do is just cook the heck out of this. In a few minutes, we're going to see like a major steam coming out of this pan. Meanwhile, I'm just going to clean up a little bit, throw some things in the compost heap, which is essential. Everything in the kitchen should be composted or properly put away. And if you're using plastic, you want to reuse plastic as much as possible. But if it can't be reused, you're going to have to throw it away. So, you know, I don't really have another use for a plastic serving container, but, you know, I'm sure some people could serve food in it, you know. I don't know. It's like, I don't really have a need to reuse these things. I'm not even cooking with that today, but I do have something up my sleeve I'd like to use that's similar to applesauce, and that's my pear sauce. There's no eggs in this. No. So let me pull my pear sauce out of here. Fantastic. I need to use some of this up, so I stored it in this container. Remember the pear sauce is like, what, 6 months old now? I stored it in this container, and yeah, we're dealing with we were having a mold issue on some of the other containers. This is 1 out of 12 containers we had. Oh, it's fantastic. That slight smell of vodka. Yeah, you'd like this, Alec. If you've got a spare bottle of vodka, Alec, if you've got like a fruit tree and you make bushels of fruits like we do, you just make the mash, the puree, put it in these containers and put about a half an ounce of vodka on top. You love drink? I know you do. I know you love to drink. You know, I drink with you, but I don't drink alcohol. So I'd have to drink fruit juice or something, preferably 100% fruit juice. So if you're serving anything when I visit, make sure your wife just gets me some 100%. Actually, I can't take anything out of a bottle. I'm so sorry. It has to have a sealed cap on it for me to drink anything. So I'm cancel our dinner date, Alec. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to throw just a little bit of sauce on there because I kind of want to use some of this vodka sauce in here. Fantastic. And I seal it right up and it should be fine. Okay. I know you weren't inviting me over. It's okay. Doesn't matter. I wouldn't drive into New York too if you paid me. I'd have to quarantine for 10 days just to visit you, Alec. Yeah. No, excuse me, 14 days. And I'd have to pay $6,000 to quarantine myself for 6 days or for 14 days. The rate in Ontario is even more. It's like $2,000 for 3 days. Well, we could smoke it up, you know, if we could meet somewhere outside of New York. Maybe, you know, I've been to the water outside of New York. Could we meet in a boat in Manhattan? That would be perfect. I actually navigated a boat in Manhattan when I was 11 years old. Yeah, I had a relative who had a boat there, and he let me run the boat all around it was fantastic. I literally love that harbor. Really a fun experience. So maybe we can meet in the harbor because I can't get into New York proper without going through COVID testing. Yeah. I'll have my yacht drop down from New Jersey. We can hang out. We can meet on the Hudson, yeah. Billy Joel, you know him, really? Wow. Yeah, he's amazing. And what he went through with Christy Brinkley. Oh my God, that guy. She's a real heartbreaker, man. Not to demean her, you know, she's a beautiful woman, and so is her daughter. But I mean, I don't know. She's left a trail of tears. You know, John Cougar Mellencamp. You know, your great uncle Jimmy Baldwin captained the Staten Island Ferry. Are you kidding me? There we go. He probably had my mother and my grandfather on that Staten Island Ferry going, next stop, Staten Island. My mother grew up in Brooklyn, New York. Valley Stream, she ended up toward the end of her stay there. And then she met my father right after World War II. Yeah, she met him down in North Carolina, Camp Lejeune. It was a typical baby boomer marriage thing. Then they had me, 13 years later. I know. It'd be kind of fun to get on the Staten Island ferry, but they'd COVID test me. I'm so sorry. Yeah, see, I'm not going to go through the whole process of being COVID tested to travel, Alec. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's just, I have to meet you on a private yacht. I'm just the only way it could happen. You know, no mustard stains. This shirt went through the U.S. postal system and barely destroyed itself. They actually ran it through the ringer. Now, I went out of my way to find this shirt. It's one of my favorite brands, and they literally ran it through the ringer. It got stuck in the machinery of itself, and they cut through it, the grinders, and it has all kinds of cuts here that I had to sew up. And I got my money back for the shirt, but I said, I'm not going to waste this shirt. I love it too much. So I sewed it up. There's a stitching in the back, too. It's amazing. I'm serious. I wasn't going to waste this shirt. You know how much cotton went into this thing? It's 100%. It's a really beautiful knit. I mean, I love the manufacturer. I'm not going to tell you the name of it, but yeah, it's just, oh, you're looking at my nipple. I could see that. Close the webcam, okay? Yeah, I don't really like you looking at my nipple. I know, Big Lenny, I know. No, I don't have any piercings. There's no, they're not hard. They're just nipples. Can we talk about something else? Hey, I want to show you what's in the refrigerator. That's why I brought this up to $8, and you don't normally have to cook with $5 of pork. You can make this dinner with pork sausage. That's one option. Yeah. Now, there is a little need for more salt here. There's not a lot of salt, so most people will pick up salt with, the idea of a salt shaker. But I don't use salt shakers because I'm salt sensitive. But if you want, you can take a salt shaker right now and kind of go like that. Or if you really want to be frivolous, you could just step out into Patty LaBelle's world and just get this stuff, which is Miss Patty's no salt recipe with a little bit of Miss Patty's number 3 hot sauce. Now, this is a mild habanero. If you like that little hot sauce taste, you might want to throw a little splash of that in. I'm going to do that. Just a little splash, and then I'm going to top it off with Miss Patty's number 3, and then I'm going to put the no salt Patty's seasoning in. This is really good. It's like a curry. And I have about 40 bottles of this that I bought on sale for like 10 cents a bottle, so I'm just going to throw some in there. This has a little spice in it too. But I figured since I went with the smoky taste, I didn't have the spicy taste, so now I'll have. You can't really go wrong with a lot of different flavors. All right, let's give this a little move. Go ahead and take a look at this mash. And the monster mash. We do the mash. We do the monster mash. The monster mash. Okay, let's take a look at this. That's nice. Okay, enough of the movement. Once you get that feeling like things are starting to break up a little bit when they're not. Okay, now is the time to turn it down to a simmer. All the way to a simmer. And then I'm going to grab this, which I've been telling you about, is Trader Joe's. They sell it at many other box stores. But this is $5.49 for 3 packages of this. Now you can make your own rice for less money than that, but this is about $1.50, $1.65 for that. That's about the price of a good deal on the organic rice that's pre-cooked. Now at this point you want to keep it on a simmer. It's still very hot. We do the monster mash. The monster mash. Okay, that's a little harder than getting with scissors, but it works. You pull it apart. And that's frozen right out of the freezer. See that? So just open the container, set it right on top like that, and close it. Keep it simmering. And in about 5 minutes, I'm going to give it a good movement, and I'm going to bring everything together and then raise the flame. Give the monster mash. The monster mash. So there's a temporary pause in the cooking cycle just to give everything kind of that moment's pause where everything starts to blend together. Now, food grows in taste over time, especially with all these great seasonings. Wow, thank you for that bacon seasoning. Looks really good. Yeah, everything takes time. And when you make food like this and set it in the refrigerator, it's actually gets better the next day. I don't need to, no starch, no. Rice is very low starch, Tom. You know that. Yeah, rice is one of those things that, if you understand, it's a complex, or no, it's a simple carbohydrate. It's the pizzas that'll screw you up. Mango pork sounds delish. Hey, Mad Dog. I do have some lasagna recipes, Alec. You know, we could put some vodka in that too. I know you'd want to cook with vodka. We'd have so much fun. You know, just you and I hanging out on my yacht. I mean, on your yacht. You do have a yacht, right? Dave, how can you live in New York and not have a yacht? Oh, that's right. You're downsizing. I forgot. I thought about adding a wide angle lens, but everyone would say I'd look fat. And they'd say, oh, your nipples look like they have, you know, nipple rings or something, you know. White rice is bleached. Yeah. Okay, so white rice is simple. Brown rice is complex. Okay, then let's go with the brown rice. It's a complex carbohydrate. Yeah, and it's the complex carbohydrates that take longer to digest than the simple carbohydrates. However, they can really push your sugar cycle forward. If you're breaking down a lot of carbohydrates in your stomach, like a pizza, it can really draw from your glucagons. You see, your glucagons, your receptors in your brain that meet the glycogen when it meets the insulin, and it all interacts and creates more insulin, and your whole system can. So if you're pre-diabetic, I'm not pre-diabetic, I'm hyperglycemic, which is almost pre-diabetic. So I totally agree with the people that are worried about my carbohydrate intake. Totally. I've been with you all along. I've been making these kind of carbo dishes because it stretches the dollar out. And I don't eat a lot at one time. So a lot of these dishes can be put away for, you know, freezer time. And we buy these glass containers that you can freeze. And I'll show you what I served Sarah in. These are sealed containers that are fantastic. They're glass. You can buy these at Costco. And this is a whole meal for a dinner. You can put a whole dinner in one of these things. But if you really want to freeze a dinner for somebody, I mean, I make her a nice, healthy meal every day because I know she doesn't have a lot of food during the day because she's so busy. But I don't have a width, man. I've got a very slim waist. In fact, I'll probably be a 36, 38 the rest of my life. Yeah, my dad lost weight when he was 65 because he had heart disease and he had a hiatal hernia. Oh, I'm going to stir that rice now into the dish. But I'm losing weight now because I don't want to get to the point where you get heart disease at 65, you know? Okay, so everything's kind of broken up now, but it still has to be brought up to a high flame again. So take it all the way up to level 6 again. This all has to mesh together, but kind of gently put the rice around and kind of move it around. There you go. It'll be colorful. It has the red pepper and the mango and all that good stuff. So yeah, like I said, carrots would be good in this. Yellow squash would be a nice accoutrement to this. I might boil a yellow squash tonight to add to it. But Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm going to turn that up to 6 and let get it up to a higher flame as I continue rambling. Yeah, new hairstyle every day, Ms. Huevos. My stylist said you got to look differently, so make sure your nipples show during the show so people see them, because that's a big talking point. Yeah. Somebody's inside the dark room. No, that's just a ghost. Nothing to worry about. You're right. Snow peas would be very good in this. Snap peas, snow peas. Yeah, I was going to say peas could go in this, like right now. But it kind of takes the Hawaiian feel away from it for me. I don't know, may not for you, but if I wanted to call it mango pork pea stir fry, it would sound kind of like some weird porn site, you know? Mango pork stir pea fry. You take the lime and the coconut and rub it all over. And then you're thinking, wow, what is this? Some sort of a weird, lubrication fetish thing? Dave, somebody's moving in the dark room behind you. No, you're going psychotic. Nothing to worry about. It happens to a lot of people, Ms. Huevos. You're hallucinating. Well, I don't know. I mean, they're saying that maybe Hunter Biden might own Pornhub. That's how he was uploading to the site. I mean, it's highly unlikely that he would be uploading the site if he just wanted to just get an account there, you know? I mean, who would do that? Who would upload their personal photographs to a Pornhub unless they own the site, right? It stands to reason he does. I mean, he'd feel confident. Yeah, it's my site. I own it. Yeah, it's no problem. No, there's no face moving in the dark room. You're psychotic. I told you. No, there's not much to investigate because there's a lid on all the information we have on Hunter Biden. Yeah. All right. I think we're done here, Tom. Pick up your check at the door, and No, I'm just kidding. You might find a job somewhere, Tom, someday. I don't have pierced nipples. No, I would never defile my body. That's just so sick. I don't know how people can do that. It's like, well, anybody who pierces a needle in their body is defiling their flesh. I mean, why would you stick a needle with synthetic pathogens in your body? Your choice. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I mean, isn't that kind of defiling the flesh? Inserting a needle, a blood sharing ritual, a Luciferian satanic blood sharing ritual of sending toxins and baby aborted fetus tissue into your body. Yeah, think about that when you make your fateful decision. I don't have anything like that, Michelle. And if you continue talking about my nipples, I'm going to have to ban you. So you've been warned, okay? Wow, we've got a nice cooking cycle going here. Hey. I'm going to get that nice big bowl to put this in. Okay. Well, let me tell you, partner. Well, let me tell you, Pilgrim. We're going to take the pork and put it in the bowl. Why are you wearing a tent? Have you noticed how much weight I've lost here? It's like, everyone complains about my weight. It's like, dude, I'm working out. I'm like, I'm probably down to, a 38 waist. I know that's hard to believe, but I've got a little wiggle room on the level 4 on the belt. No, that's not a bowl. This is my normal hair. Okay, so we're all done. We're going to turn the flame down. Now, it can cook in its own heat right now if you wanted to. See how much steam you've got in there? Everything's melding the flavors. You can leave it on the stove. In fact, I might as well leave it on the stove. Forget the bowl. You know how much food is in there. Yeah, in the interest of sparing heat and all these wonderful flavors and keeping that lid on, you remember what it looked like, right? Do I have to lift the cover on it? I'd rather just let it sit completely. Now, it's okay to use an old rag when you're cleaning off the stove, but don't wipe your hands or any food with it. That's a no-no. Now, this obsession with nipples is clearly a fixation many of you have because you're not sure if you're gay or not. That's what's happening. Many of you are going through what is called homosexual panic late in life because, well, you feel like you're now attracted to the same sex, men and women. That's due to the diet you're on. You see, if you're eating a lot of mayonnaise, they're slipping in genetically modified soy mayonnaise with extra esters in it. Yeah. So many of you are starting to develop man boobs and feeling, yeah. So you're fixating on my body because you're kind of attracted to me, which is more than an indication right now that you're gay or becoming gay. Bi-curious, yeah. Mama Louise, it's bi-curious, exactly. Your entire psychology is breaking down. Your mind is being controlled by the cognitive dissonance of your life with a mask on. You're trying to find your new identity, this bi-curious, pre-transgender, pre-op she-male. That's what's happening. You need to reevaluate your soybean diet. Seriously. Get organic mayonnaise. Don't get canola oil-based mayonnaise. Get canola, get soybean or safflower. Get safflower. That's the best mayonnaise to get. Now, I had to go looking for organic mayonnaise the other day. And I went to my trusted Safeway store where I bought, you guessed it, the O brand. Now, I'm okay with a little soybean, okay? That's not a big deal. It's organic expeller press soybean oil. But I'm a little bit weird by the GMO soybean that's out there. That's the part it's got a little higher ester levels. But the best mayonnaise, in my opinion, is safflower. Okay, one last peek. Here we go. Whoa. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching David's mango pork stir-fried cooking experience. Enjoy. Be well. I'll see you in the other room in about 2 minutes. Take care. Mr. Right, where are you?